Live from JMT Studios, Gary Seisel and Adam Buckingham are the Two Jersey Kids.
Hey guys, this is episode 11 of Two Jersey Kids. Oh my god! We made it past 10. That's impressive, isn't it, Gary?
Yes, it is.
That's my co-host, Gary Seisel. I am Adam Buckingham, and like I said, this is episode 11. This is the Friday episode of Two Jersey Kids, where we break down the topics, the news that's going on in the video game industry. If you didn't know, if you're a new listener out there, we have 2 episodes each week, a Tuesday and a Friday episode. Tuesday is shorter because we go through just like the summary and synopsis of the games that are coming out this week, and we give our, what can I say, genius opinions about what games to choose from. And then Friday, like I said, we go over all the news that has been going on the past week since last Friday in the video game industry. But first off, how you been, Gary? How you doing, my friend?
Doing okay.
Just okay?
I've been playing some Skyrim Special Edition, which we will get into. I think that'll be a pretty good debate we have there. I'm loaded up, ready to go.
Oh, you're ready to go? I don't know how much of a debate it is. I just got the other side of the aisle from per se.
Yeah, I understand, and I mean we'll get more into the actual topic soon.
We gotta be unbiased.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, we don't have to be unbiased. You can have our biases. That's why people listen, I feel like. Anyway.
True.
Yeah, but, video games. I got another game tonight, which I plan on scoring in. Thank you for calling me out on Twitter today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
7 goals. I expect it.
7 goals in a game is like a record. I don't know if that's possible.
Did you like how I clipped the whole section of me saying that? I thought that was pretty nice. I figured out that whole technology only goes 24 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can notice through Skype, but my glasses are effed up because I accidentally forgot to put contacts in before I went to my boxing class. And, I was the one holding the pads for the instructor, who's a big, 24-year-old, built like a fucking tank. Roger, if you ever listen to this, you are built like a tank. So he was just pretend showing it through and going for a left hook. So I covered up. I already knew he hits hard, but he just hit, not even trying that hard. That's how hard he hits, and just pushes my the glove against my face, and then squishes my glasses, sort of. So lesson learned: don't take glasses when you're taking a boxing class. Don't bring your glasses. But what I've been doing, since Gary rudely never asked, it's not like I've been rambling on about something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been playing Titanfall 2. It's actually really good. I'm shocked. I really enjoy it. Right now, I like the campaign. It's kind of like a, I'll get into it later. But so far, I'm enjoying it. Little tease. Because Gary may have to leave a little bit early for this episode, so you may be just stuck with me rambling on. Because, you probably love that.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Shall we get into the topics?
Yes, indeed.
I'm really excited for this first one. I just thought it was funny, so I just put it on. It's over at Kotaku. Luke Plunkett writes, China's banned Overwatch players have excellent names. A ton of... I can't speak. I already mentioned to myself today, I was I'm going to try to enunciate so I'm not slurring my words. Because the last episode, I drank a tiny bit, but I wasn't drunk, but I was still slurring words. So... let me try that again. A ton of Chinese cheaters got banned from Overwatch recently. And if we're going solely by their usernames, our lives are poorer for their absence. So I'm just going to... they were banned recently. I forget what the policy was. So because of Blizzard's policy, they show the players that are getting banned. So let's get started. The first one is the world could always use more butts. Now, Gary, I want you to give a rating scale from 1 to 10 for all of these, okay? So what's the first one?
7. 7 out of 10.
Wow, already high. Next one. AKA, I got aimbot and walkcack and will crush y'all from CN server.
Well,
I think that's just gloating that he has mods on or something.
Yeah, to be frank, I don't really know what this guy means.
I give you a 1.
Okay.
Garbage. Next one. AKA, dare to leave or I'll pull your penis.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting somewhere. I give it an 8. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I think that's fair. 8 out of 10.
Next one. Miniature bra.
Boo.
Not very clever. Next one. Ugly guy with thick lip and smelly feet. Very literal. I kind of like it. I'll give you a 6.
7 out of 10. What the hell?
7 out of 10. Okay, you're like IGN right here, just giving out 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. Fish that loves eating cat. I give that a 3.
No. Yeah, that can go to hell.
All right, you will appreciate this last one because I feel like you've said this plenty of time. Call me the god of bitches.
Me? I've said this plenty of times.
I think you've actually said, call me god, comma, bitches.
Oh, yeah, that might have happened in Call of Duty back when I was like 15. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what we would do. We were those annoying kids back when we were younger. We would just go in. We wouldn't scream or yell. We would just basically assert ourselves that we are God in this game and we will destroy you. Which we
the only reason we did it is because people would just bite so hard. Like, they would just take the bait.
And they would freak out. Yes, we were trolls, but we weren't, like, insulting trolls. We were just saying that we were good. That's like...
Exactly.
That's just, like, putting ourselves up, not putting anyone else down. That's why you trolls out there, don't do it. It's not nice. Moving on! Matt Kamen over at Wired writes, Facebook's Game Room takes aim at Steam. Facebook has launched Game Room, a desktop client out to rival Steam as hub for PC games. The Game Room client, available now for Windows PC, offers access to games without them cluttering up your news feed. Titles on offer include a mix of web-first games, mobile ports, and new games designed exclusively for the platform. Install the client, log in with your Facebook account, and you'll be presented with a spotlight screen of editor choice games and titles organized by type. A category page lets you view all available games in a given genre, while any games you play already on Facebook that are compatible with Game Room will appear in the column on the left. New games are downloaded locally, but a connection to Facebook seems to be required at all times, meaning offline gaming is out of the question. Each title asks for access to your profile, so it's worth checking exactly what information you're providing every time. I can keep reading, but that's basically the gist of it. I don't know if it's really competing with Steam, if it's just Facebook games, to be honest.
It kind of caught me off guard when I read this today. I mean, it's kind of a strange thing. It kind of came out of nowhere, I feel like. You know, Facebook's like a social media type of site, and that suddenly come out with...
They did buy Oculus, remember.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, suddenly to come out with a site to supposedly compete with Steam, this is rather strange. And like you said, I mean, if it's just Facebook games, is it really going to actually compete with Steam?
Compete? Yeah, I don't know.
Please. Like, Facebook games are
garbage.
Trash.
Farmville, though, the bomb. My mom loved that game.
There's like a couple games that are like, you know, really like, everybody knows what they are. Mm-hmm. Tons of people play them, but I don't know if it's going to actually...
Yeah, and the fact that you have to always be online...
that's stupid too. That'll piss a lot of people off.
I don't even know. Do you have to be online to play Steam games? I feel like you don't, but I could be wrong. I'm just a noob when it comes to PC games. Sorry, I've played plenty, but I just don't remember if I've always been online, so I've never had that issue. So
I don't think you have to be online, but I may be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, but other than that, I don't see it competing when it's just Facebook games. Moving on, Brian Ashcraft over at Kotaku writes, Nintendo denies Wii U production is ending this week. Yesterday, Eurogamer reported that the production of Wii U consoles was ending this week. Today, Nintendo says this is, quote, not true, and, quote, Eurogamer reported that multiple sources confirmed to the site that the Wii U would roll off the production line this Friday. Quote, Nintendo declined to comment when contacted about this article, end quote, states Eurogamer's original article. Japanese site IT Media reports that a spokesperson for Nintendo said, quote, there is no change to our continuing Wii U production, end quote. The spokesperson prefaced the denial by stating he or she didn't know the particulars of the article, but clearly stated that the report that the Wii U was ending production, quote, was not true, end quote. Quote, even though the Nintendo Switch is slated to go on sale, Wii U production is scheduled to continue, end quote. That just seems like BS. I feel like they've given up. There hasn't been that... We've done the games coming out this week, and there hasn't been that many Wii U games that have been released or anything of note, per se. And the Switch is coming out in less than 6 months, so just pull the plug on Wii U. It's already sold poorly. It's about 13 million units. It's like one of the lowest selling consoles. Apparently, I learned today that it was originally projected to sell 100 million copies units in its lifetime. Well, they fell a little flat of that.
I have to say, you know, I mean, I guess maybe it's true that the Wii U is actually any production, but why is it so often today that journalists just kind of like either they make up stories or it's just like completely it's confirmed to be not true later on. Like this may be true. Maybe Wii U is actually ending production. It would make sense at this point, but at the same time, it's kind of ridiculous how like you just keep seeing these.
But they have sources, and they obviously, due to journalism, they don't want to out their sources, and then their sources don't no longer report to them because they got screwed over. So I understand that portion. And what do you think Nintendo's going to say? Yeah, we're ending Wii U production now, so don't go out and buy the console. And
that's exactly it. So Nintendo's not going to say anything yet that they're ending production like that. That would be so stupid. It would be a terrible move, even though Wii U's largely failed.
I'm pretty certain they pulled like the Virtual Boy within 3 months of that train wreck that happened. Do you remember that console?
Vaguely.
Just what I think Angry Video Game Nerd has like a video on it.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But that tells you all you really need to know about Virtual Boy. It's pretty garbage. Moving on! Nathan Grayson over again. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's Kotaku, but it's Steamed at the same time. Steam bans misleading store page screenshots. We've heard rumblings of a big Steam update on the horizon, and details are beginning to trickle in. Apparently, it's, quote, a couple weeks away, and, quote, and will, among other things, require developers to advertise their games with real screenshots rather than art, CGI, or pictures of their spring vacation to Cancun.
No Man's Sky. Misleading.
Here's what Valve had to say about it. Yeah. Quote, we haven't been super crisp on guidelines for screenshots in the past, so we'd like to take this opportunity to clarify some rules in this space. When the screenshot section of a store page is used for images other than screenshots that depict the game, it can make it harder for customers to understand what the product is that they are looking at. Additionally, we're going to start showing game screenshots in more places as described above, and these images need to be able to represent the game. We ask that any images you upload to the quote screenshot section of your store page should be screenshots that show your game. This means avoiding using concept art, pre-rendering cinematic stills, or images that contain awards, marketing copy, or written product description. Please show customers what your game is actually like to play, end quote. I feel like this is the right step. So you don't get like garbage. I don't know what Honor and Duty is like. I'm sure they're probably up front on the Steam page. I don't want to talk down to them. But imagine like you get images that look like Call of Duty, like the Call of Duty cover all over the place with Honor and Duty, the game that looked like a PS2, even if that game. And then all of a sudden you get what it actually is.
Well, honestly, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but how much of the whole No Man's Sky debacle did this have to do with this move here? Like, obviously, everybody was ripping apart No Man's Sky for being false advertising and
like
showing
the
a lot
Illuminati.
of things
It always comes back to No Man's Sky.
No, but seriously, I mean, think about it. This is exactly like what Steam's doing right now is going to prevent companies from doing exactly what No Man's Sky did.
I'm gonna look up on. Damn, No Man's Sky has a 5 on Steam.
Yeah, and that's kind of shocking.
I'm gonna look up the screenshots.
But I mean, like the trailers they showed, they had, ships going underwater. That doesn't happen.
These may actually be from the PC version, but they're definitely not from console. They don't look that crisp. Oh, that's definitely not true.
What was the picture of?
Definitely. The dinosaur picture, I feel like that's been like debunked constantly, that's not actually true.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going through oh, yeah, that video on Steam. Oh, oh, that's definitely not true. Yeah, that was a section of me just laughing.
No, but seriously, it's just false advertising.
Yeah, it is. So I feel like it's a good step in the right direction. So people know what they're getting, what type of game they should expect, what the art style is, instead of just BS concept art that any artist, well, not any artist, but you know what I mean. A lot of artists can draw to make look amazing, and then they turn out the game to be garbage.
Indeed, harsh words, but speaking the truth.
All right, moving on. Joe Screbbles over at IGN writes, Phil Spencer doesn't expect a new Xbox every 2 years. Despite a colleague saying that Project Scorpio will bring an end to console generations, head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, has explained that Microsoft does not plan on releasing incremental upgraded consoles every 2 years. Quote, I don't have this desire to every 2 years have a new console on the shelf, he explained to Game Informer. That's not part of the console business model, and it doesn't actually help us. The best customer I have is somebody who buys the original Xbox and just buys all the games. That's the best customer for us in terms of pure financials of it. I'm not trying to turn consoles into the graphics card market. He continues, to be completely honest, I don't know what the next console is past Scorpio. We're thinking about it. We're looking at consumer trends and what the right price, performance, spec, and price would be. And asking ourselves, can we hit something that has a meaningful performance characteristic that a gamer would care about, end quote. Do you believe him, Gary, or do you think this is just PR speak?
I
Phil Spencer has always been upfront.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's, I mean, I guess you can go either way, but I mean, from what I know, video game companies, or not video game companies, but I guess like Microsoft, Sony, they lose money on the hardware aspect. Like when they release a console, they lose money. They're losing money on the hardware, but they make their money back through the software. So,
but I'm pretty certain PS4 actually sold at a profit.
Yeah.
It's not many consoles, though. You are correct. It's to drive units for the software to then sell at a profit.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder, I mean, would it really be financially smart for them to actually release a console every 2 years? Probably not. But then again, I am not in charge of a major corporation.
I remember hearing something that's actually pretty interesting. It seems like every time there's a console release, you're risking the chance of losing your fan base. Because this space, you rarely see somebody stick with some console generation for the long haul. I mean, there are those diehards out there, but every time there's a new console generation, like see how many people switch from Xbox 360 over to PS4 specifically because of the terminology that they were using during the presentation. There's not many industries where every time you're releasing a brand new spanking new hardware that you're risking losing your fan base. So I don't know if making it modular will reduce that, because then they feel the obligation to keep going with it, maybe at a reduced price even every time you upgrade, or does that then now you have gamers flip-flopping between the two, not knowing which one to decide from? I don't know.
I mean, if they were to reduce the price on the upgrade, like you were like kind of almost like a phone sort of thing,
yeah,
then it might be a little more worth it. But at the same time, if they're going to go in like, I guess, like towards the PS4 Pro route, I think it turns a lot of people off, especially people that have a PS4 right now, like myself.
Especially when the console doesn't offer anything new.
Yeah,
except
it's just
for 4K.
Yeah, which
maybe a tiny bit more.
Yeah, it's
no sense. Sorry,
terrible.
I keep cutting you off. Wait, we
no.
keep talking. Oh my goodness, we keep talking right at the same time when there's a pause. Oh, what I did remember is that the one other console I remember, because it was talked about today in one of the podcasts I was listening to, is that Wii U actually sold at a profit. When they sold their, or not Wii U, Wii sold at a profit. Huh. So they sold, I think, what in the end was 100 million units. I think it was one of the top selling consoles. So selling all those units at a profit, that's pretty nice for Nintendo. That's why I guess they could have taken the hit with this Wii U business. But they can't really continue to taking the hit. But that was just my thought that I had earlier. Moving on! Samit Sarka over at Polygon writes, Star Wars Battlefront sequel coming next fall, EA says. EA's DICE sequel to Star Wars Battlefield is scheduled to be released in fall 2017, publisher Electronic Arts said today during an investor call. Asked by an analyst about the timing of the next Battlefront game, EA Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen confirmed that the sequel is coming, quote, a year from now, end quote. That suggests the game will be released next fall. Quote, we're working very hard on making sure that is an extremely deep, I'm guessing that it is an extremely deep and engaging offering, Jorgensen added. So, are you excited for the next Battlefront game coming out a year from now?
It really depends on what they actually show. Because, honestly, the last Battlefront, I mean, I got it for Christmas, so I didn't actually buy it myself. But I don't know. The last Battlefront was very bland, very plain, and
Empty.
I understand they came out with the DLCs, everything, but still, it was for as cool, for as amazing as the game looked, and honestly, I thought the gameplay was pretty solid as well. It was just very bland. It didn't have a lot to offer. So, I mean, they're saying that it's going to be a deep, engaging experience, but I don't know if I want an engaging experience from Battlefront. I just want something that's fun and has a little more I don't know.
Aren't you kind of contradicting yourself? You thought it was deep, and then now you don't want it engaging.
What I mean is by deep and engaging, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I don't, Battlefront back in the day was something I would jump on and I would play and have fun, but I wasn't questioning my life playing this game. You know what I mean? Battlefront now is just, like I said, it's boring. You just run around and shoot people. It's just hard to explain to.
You felt like the systems in the old Battlefront games were deeper. There was more offered, Galactic Conquest, so you didn't feel the need to just go online and play the same missions over and over.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah,
it felt, maybe it was just because you were younger. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean either way, but I mean unless they actually show something else for this Battlefront, I don't know how excited I am considering how the last one was.
What I'm thinking is that in Battlefield 1 they're doing storytelling through vignettes, so having different characters, different perspectives. It'll be interesting to see if they do that with Battlefront.
Maybe. Oh, Battlefield 1. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You said Battlefront.
Did I say Battlefront? I thought I pretty certainly said Battlefield.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
We'll find out. Actually, we probably won't. I don't know. I would have to go back through it and figure it out. I don't know if I have that kind of time on my hands. But as I was saying, in Battlefield 1, they focused on vignettes, storytelling-wise, different characters progressing throughout World War I, the differing areas that differing campaigns per se that took place during World War I. It'll be interesting to see if they do that type of storytelling, because I think EA got hit, or DICE got hit, with the fact that it was just multiplayer, kind of the way Titanfall got hit, that there was no single player whatsoever. So it'll be interesting if they add a vignette style storytelling in Battlefront 2, which could be kind of interesting. I feel like that would be something that would be more engaging story wise. You have a differing people on the rebel side. Well, now there's a nice pause as I try to open up the next article. Moving on, Michael McWhirter over at Polygon writes, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has a quote YOLO mode, end quote, permadeath. Developer Infinity Ward is giving Call of Duty diehards an extra level of challenge with 2 new difficulty modes for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. One of those modes eliminates Call of Duty's regenerative health mechanic, among other difficulty tweaks, while the other gives players just 1 life for the entire single-player campaign. On the Activision blog, the publisher detailed Infinite Warfare's new specialist mode, which will unlock after beating the campaign on any difficulty, described as, quote, intensely realistic, end quote. Specialist mode cranks the challenge beyond what we're used to in Call of Duty series. Here are the details from Activision. So you can only heal with nanoshots. There's no health regeneration in this mode. Helmets are your only protection from headshots. They will take permanent damage and will need to be replaced. Both nanoshots and helmets take up equipment slots, so remember to equip them in your loadout on Retribution before each level. Master the lean from behind cover mechanic, which will be critical for your survival. Approach the edge of cover while standing or crouching and aim down the sights. You know how to do that. If you get shot in the leg, it will impact your movement. If you get shot in either arm, it will impact your ability to use equipment or aim down the sights. Note, your weapon can be shot out of your hands.
What?
If you have the skills and patience to survive Infinite Warfare Specialist mode, you'll unlock YOLO mode. You only live once, Activision says, and if you die, you'll have to start over fresh. That type of permadeath mode in a first-person shooter is something we saw earlier this year with the release of id Software's Doom. All the developers at id reportedly were unable to beat the game on Ultra Nightmare Difficulty 1 managed to do it just 2 days after the game was released. Now the race will be on.
Well, I remember you playing through what was it?
World
World
at
at
War.
War.
Oh my
And
God, that
and
was
and
garbage.
I remember it was just an endless barrage of nades. It was like, is it going to be like this? Is that what the yellow mode's going
It
to be
was
like? Am I?
no. I feel like they fixed it in Call of Duty. They don't have the monster closet areas in a campaign anymore. Where in World at War, they literally just kept spawning and spawning. No matter how many times you killed them, they kept popping out more and more. And I think that was trying to design the game so you keep moving forward and don't stop. However, that's not really fun when you're in veteran mode, where if you move, they have amazing aim, and if you get shot, you're done. You're done,
Yeah.
no matter what. So it'll be interesting to see how this game. That's actually kind of sounds really cool. The whole specialist mode where you get the gun shot out of your hands, you could get shot in the leg, and it affects your movement.
I feel like I still feel like I'd rip my hair out though trying to
Oh,
complete that
for
sort of thing.
sure. I'm sure so many people will. Especially YOLO mode. Imagine getting so far in that game
Yeah,
and then just dying. Oh my God.
Like a
I guess that's like old games too. You get
Yeah.
that far and game over, no passcode if the game didn't have a password.
like
That-
you go to kill the boss at the end, like you throw a grenade, it bounces off a wall right back at you and kills you. Start over.
Okay, if you got that far and you pulled that kind of mistake, you don't deserve to be that far.
Hey, but it happens. I mean, like you're
It
trying
does.
to throw a grenade and something.
does.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
crazy.
that's just crazy. You just have one shot in every section. You have one chance, and like the longer and longer you go, the more likely you'll die. So I didn't see it in the post. I wonder if YOLO mode is just added on to specialist mode, so you actually have to deal with all those hindrances, like getting shot in the arm and it affecting your ability to shoot. Oh, my phone just went off. But your ability to shoot properly, that'd be insane. Oh my God. Oh, what's wrong with my voice? How you doing, Gary? You think we're doing good?
Yeah, dynamite, man.
Dynamite.
well.
I feel like throughout this, every time we'd record this episode, I looked at the Skype screen. First, you're like smack dab in the middle, and slowly, farther and farther, you start sliding down and down and down and down until I can only see your forehead.
I change positions at times, and it throws off the camera.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's not really like I have to look at you. I have to actually read the article, because that'd be pretty impressive if I could do both. That'd be kind of weird. But moving on! Again, Michael McWhirter over at Polygon writes, Journey developer, That Game Company teases a new game. It's pretty exciting. The developer of Flow, Flower, and Journey, Santa Monica, California-based That Game Company offered a first look at its next game today on Twitter in the form of 3 teasers. The unnamed title simply referred to as, quote, that next game, end quote. That's pretty brilliant. Is said to be, quote, a game about giving, end quote, according to developer. That Game Company's teasers for its follow-up to 2012's critical acclaimed Journey consists of 3 images. The first showing a candle lighting another candle. Ooh. While the second appears to be a silhouette of 4 children, each wearing shorts, capes, and holding hands. Ooh. And the third appears to be a stone gate with a beam of light piercing through a cloud. Oh! The developer didn't provide much in the way of concrete detail on, quote, that next game, end quote, but later indicated the title will be released sometime in 2017. That gets me excited. That gets my bones flowing. That's not a saying at all.
I remember funny enough, I actually did play the game Flower on.
Did you really?
Yeah, on PS3. This is like going back. What,
ladies
about
and
6
gentlemen,
years?
this blows my mind that Gary played Flower.
Let's not get crazy here. I didn't complete it.
Fuck you.
But I did play it.
It's a step in the right direction, folks. Okay, when Journey was free on PS Plus, I told you to download it. Did you actually add it to your library?
I probably did not.
You
Actually, I definitely
fucking
didn't.
piece of shit. No, seriously.
Hey, man.
Fuck you.
Busy life.
It
games.
takes maybe 2 hours to beat. It takes
it's
2
time consuming.
hours. Two. You see me holding up to the camera? 2.
I I don't have 2 hours.
If you look how long to beat this game. Wait. Okay. There's everything wrong with what the statement you just said. You don't have 2 hours. How many hours have you put into Destiny?
Many.
Give me an answer.
Hours? I don't even know. I would have to do the math.
I'm
know
sure
the days.
it's days worth, and you can't sit down for 2 hours and play Journey, one of the greatest indie games of all time.
I was joking, first of all. So yeah, just throttle it back a tad. I'm
going to strangle you next time I see you.
I'll have to be ready. I'll have to remember that you're going to do it.
If you see a new host next week, that'll be why. Just kidding.
Okay.
I love Gary. I'm not going to strangle him. Makes me want to smack the ignorance out of him sometimes for not playing Journey.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person.
Horrible.
Get over it.
Horrible. Why did I choose you? Actually, you chose me, so never mind. I'm kind of tired out from just yelling at you now. But this is an interesting one. So, I forgot to say, moving on! Jason Schreier over Kotaku writes, name of next Tomb Raider leaks because a guy had it open on Subway. Some advice for professional game developers and marketers: don't open up confidential information in public. Especially don't do it on a crowded subway. So there's pictures of a guy sitting in the subway with a presentation that has Tomb Raider on it. So
yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
You can zoom in essentially and just make out the name Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Square Enix has yet to comment on this. It's pretty embarrassing, but it's also exciting. They keep making these Tomb Raider games, which are pretty amazing. I played the first one. Still need to get to the second one. Came out on PS4 recently. But it's if you like Uncharted, because I know you do, Gary, you'll love Tomb Raider. It basically kind of has the same formula, same type of storytelling. Sometimes I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind. But
now
it's really good. What?
Now was this a mistake or a genius?
Plot.
Unprecedented marketing strategy right here. The guy sits in the subway. Who would have thought? Like, seriously. No one knows.
I don't know. I feel like we should do a social experiment next time. If we go to DC or something, just make a generic presentation, do like Half-Life 3, and just drive around for as long as possible, and then we'll see if it ever pops up.
Yeah, I'll wear a suit. I'll sit in a train and then have a laptop, Half-Life 3.
Actually, DC wouldn't make sense. We have to go wherever Valve's located. I don't know where they are located. Phil, while I look it up.
Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
Well,
or we can just sit here quietly. You can
I
just
don't know about that.
Talk.
But yeah, I think it'd be a very interesting. It was actually funny because I watched a what was it in? I'm in a consumer analysis class, and we watched an experiment how this guy walked around in a suit with like a couple bodyguards, and immediately people were taking pictures of him, like trying to figure out who he was, and he wasn't anybody. But like, that's the thing. People were so gullible. That would actually work. Half-Life 3. I
mean, that's like the social experiment that you see when somebody walks into an elevator and everybody's looking one direction. So instead of looking the same direction that you normally do, they turn to follow suit of what the other people are doing. And I remember seeing the video. It's kind of funny because it would pop back, like it would get to the next floor or whatever, and they would be all turned around, and he would be turned around as well. It makes me laugh. But it's located in Bellevue, Washington. Bellevue, Washington, just outside, across the water of Seattle. So let's go around Seattle in the subway, whatever's out there. I actually know someone that lives out there. Adam, coming to you, and then we'll do that. No one will know because only like 20 or so people listen to this podcast, so they won't spoil the secret for us if we ever do that. And they drive around and somebody puts it out. It'd be great publicity for us until they get to this episode 11. It's like, wait a second, these bastards. That was like I'm pretty certain Jimmy Kimmel did that with a YouTube video. He hired like an actress or something, do like a twerking video like on the door and like fall over. Like there was a candle and it like fell over and like it started like lighting up on fire or something. And it like they put it on like a while and just let it sit. They didn't do anything. They just let it gestate there just till someone found it. Somehow, some way it did, and it just blew up. And then, like, weeks after it blew up, he finally, like, showed the rest of the video, which is him just walking through the door and just talking to the camera. It's pretty funny. If it's not true, then that was pretty good editing, but I'm pretty certain that was true.
Alrighty. Fascinating story. Why are you sitting there in silence? All right, we can move on now. Seriously.
Okay. I just want to see how uncomfortable I can make you.
Made it
so,
uncomfortable.
Gary, you said earlier that you were playing Skyrim. So, I want to get your thoughts on this article first before you go into it.
Sure.
I think it's like an opinion piece by Cecilia D. Anastasio. Why I can't speak? I can't say that name for some reason.
D'Anastasio.
D'Anastasio. Thanks, man. This is why you should just read the names. So she says, Special Edition is too janky. Skyrim Special Edition is a buggy mess on console. In just a few hours playing on Xbox One, I encountered NPCs floating above chairs, twitchy mammoths, seconds-long pauses in animations, echoing dialogue, and other glitches that are unforgivable for a game that came out in 2011 and in 2016 cost $60 on console. That price tag is likely a combination of Special Edition's DLC pack-ins and mod support, as well as, quote, remastered art and effects, dynamic depth of field, and volumetric god rays, end quote. Despite these improvements, many other players on Xbox One have reported freezing, bad frame rates, stuck NPCs, vanishing weapons, and semi-frequent crashes, all without added mods in the game. Actually, the most popular mod for Skyrim Special Edition is a comprehensive and unofficial patch for the consoles. So she posts pictures of the jankiness that happens. Honestly, from right off the bat, if there are reports of, like, it feels like Bethesda, the games they actually develop and not just publish, they have been so buggy lately with like Fallout 4. Fallout 3 was like that. Skyrim wasn't like that on Xbox 360, but I think it was on PS3. I just feel like, especially when you're releasing this for $60 and it's just a remaster, you should fix like the issues that you had previously and not release something.
I got that. I get that point, but at the same time, this article is such an unbelievable exaggeration. It's amazing. A buggy mess on consoles. A buggy mess. First of all.
It's opinion piece. People get a little exaggerate about things.
And this is my opinion. And it's the fact that, like, these pictures are showing off of someone riding a horse on a rock, and they happen to, like, he's like, the horse is, like, tilted over or whatever. Are you serious? Is that game breaking? Is that something that is going to ruin your user experience? I highly doubt it.
Breaks the immersion. But seriously, though, a game that came out in 2011 and they had this jankiness in the previous one, they can't fix it?
That I understand that, but that is such a minor problem. It's like, why would that matter? Why?
Well, then what do you like? Okay, all right, let's stop all of this. What's your opinion on the game? I feel like I already know, and everyone else does.
All right. Well, first, okay. Yeah, the game has its issues. I know that it does have some bugs. But at the same time, I have been enjoying the game. I had the PS3 port originally, and anyone that played on the PS3 version knows that it wasn't.
With that.
Yeah, that it wasn't anything, great. Let's put it that way. And I enjoyed that version. But now that this one's out, I feel like a lot of the original performance issues that I had on the PS3 are actually somewhat fixed. So I have been actually enjoying it very much. I think it's definitely a step up for myself. That is strictly from a PS3 person's standpoint, though. I know a lot of people that have PCs that aren't even bothering with the special edition because it's not even an improvement. It has nothing to offer them. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you for saying that, because we can move into the review that I saw for PC, which I actually thought was rather interesting, and I wanted to get you to comment on it.
Yeah.
it says, I should have got the name, but it's one of the top ones. It says, ask yourself, how does a game primarily tested and reviewed by players who received it for free end up with a 60% positive rating that has nothing but declined since release? If you got this for free, awesome. Skyrim is a good game that once modded becomes even better. If you didn't, don't buy it. It is the quintessential cash grab when Legendary Edition of Skyrim can be found for $10 to $15 and isn't ultimately any different outside of the 64-bit engine. And unless you're a heavy modder, in case which you probably got this for free anyways, that just isn't enough to warrant a purchase. There are a great many problems with this game. Micro-stuttering, check. Awful TAA. I don't know what TAA stands for. I probably should have looked that up. Check. But maybe all you people... Gary, look it up for me while I keep reading.
Roger.
Ultra-wide support. No. FOV slider or an option for motion blur that doesn't require an in-game tweak. Yeah, you didn't need or want any of that, did you? Still locked to 60 frames per second, which, while minor, is annoying for any of us snobs who pay a premium for high-end hardware and expect our games to match. All the bugs that exist in the original Skyrim, totally untouched. Don't worry, Bethesda is going to let modders fix what's wrong again. Don't believe me? Check the top screenshots for this game. Bethesda's willingness to allow the community to resolve any problems with their games instead of fixing their own titles is pretty gross. If any of you think that is acceptable for a company to release a title knowing about literally hundreds of bugs in the game but not do anything about it because the community will fix it for them, well, that is why this kind of thing happens. People like that let it. It would not have been hard to integrate the fixes seen in Usleep or in separate parts into the core game, and I know it wouldn't have been expensive because Bethesda legally owns the intellectual rights to any mods published for Skyrim that have used the creation kit. No excuses, guys. This is laziness, pure and simple. I recommend you avoid paying for this since obviously Bethesda isn't ever going to fix their games themselves. And that kind of business attitude towards loyal customers should never, ever be rewarded with your money. And frankly, if you disagree with that statement, you're a major part of the problem. Considering that the maneuvering that Bethesda is going to let everyone rely on their mod service, has everyone forgotten that they still want to implement paid mods in the Woo!
That was a little much.
That
Jesus.
That was.
Like I read a paper?
That guy has his opinions.
Clearly. I couldn't actually get the true understanding of TAA, so tweet us. Tell us what it is.
You fucked up, man. I counted on you.
But either way.
I can understand your point of view because you had a really crappy experience.
See, that's the thing. I agree with what this guy's saying. I truly do. However, this guy kind of comes off a little bit as arrogant in some ways. But
I think he's just expressing his frustration.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Like I was saying, on PC, the game already ran well, and the modders fixed it. Like they've been fixing with Fallout 4 and Skyrim. They've been fixing the jankiness and make it run like better, make it look texturally better. But now coming out again, remastered. Basically, they're supposed to be making it already. Like Bethesda's supposed to make it look better, but it runs crappy again. And they're just relying on modders now to fix it. And I remember mentioning it to you last week. The top mods are, like people suggest, are the mods to make it run better, which is the whole point of the developer is to make this game run properly, not have your modding community fix it for you.
And I understand that, but as a PC player, so did he get this game for free? I mean, why would he? I'm not disagreeing with anything he's saying, but he's a PC player. He has all the mods at his disposal, patches, whatever.
Yeah, he got it for free. It's Element Zero on in Steam. Just FYI, don't want to take credit for what he said.
Yeah. So he's a PC player. He has all the mods at his disposal, the patches that modders have come up with. The game runs fine. Then, why is he reviewing a game that he's not even going to buy?
One, he got it for free. And two,
so why would he? But seeing as it's not going to really, it's not differing from what he has.
But how is he supposed to know that until he gets it?
But why? But what I'm saying is, why wouldn't he? if he has the game right now, the original game, why is he just going to wipe out what he has and just buy the special edition, or not buy, but download the special edition? Like, it makes no sense. There's no logic there.
Experience that he expected this game to run smoother and even look even better than what was outputted from the modding community. That's what I'm assuming. I'm just defending him here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand. I'm not trying to absolutely berate the guy, but I'm slightly confused at why you would buy download the special edition, already having a modded game that is better than the original game is at its core. You know, I mean, that's part of the problem. Well, I guess I can get into that a little bit later, but part of the problem I have with the PS4 special edition is the lack of mod space, which just absolutely kills the amount of mods I can actually download. Kind of blows.
Are the mods actually large?
No. Not at all. And it's really disappointing because, you know, there's quite a few mods that I was actually looking forward to playing, and I can't play any of them because I only have a gigabyte of mod space. So,
like, for example, like a story-based?
Yeah. There's a mod. There's a couple. There's one called Alternate Start, which is like you start out at a completely different part on the map, and you don't have to go through that really boring sequence, the beginning sequence of the actual original game. I wanted to get that. Can't. There's another one called the
How
Forgotten
large is
City.
that?
I don't really think it's anything substantial. But you just start in a different spot on the map. It's just a different experience.
Yeah,
there.
but how much? What is stopping you from getting it?
I mean, I'm not sure what the actual file size is, but it's just not available for PS4.
Oh, it could actually be they're using external assets.
That's actually exactly it. That's what they were saying in the article. But there's another thing. So there's another mod called the Forgotten City, which is like a complete new part of the game that this guy built. Has its own orchestra soundtrack, new voice acting. It's amazing. The whole thing's amazing. Not available for PS4 because I don't have the size, don't have the space to actually download it. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Yes,
that's why PC is when you're coming to Bethesda games and they allow the community to mod it. Even though they were originally trying to get paid mods, which there was huge backlash for.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
But yeah, there are some very creative modders out there that know how to do this stuff, which is why I think the modding community is really important.
Yeah, and I mean, I have been able to get some mods, like they're very basic ones, but one of them, for example, that puts in like a tree house. So it's like your own player home that you can get right from the beginning of the game. Doesn't cost you anything. And it's nice. I mean, you have like a few chests you can store stuff in. But I mean, you know, other than that, like you're not going to see much more than that unless Sony decides, all right, here you go.
Quick
Here's
question,
your 5
did you
gigabytes.
get married already?
No, I never really put a lot into that. I don't know. I just never something that really piqued my interest. Maybe for some people, but I kind of just like running around and exploring everything in sight.
There was an article that I saw. I think I want to say it was Kotaku or something. No. Shit. Nope, that's not it. I can't remember where it is. I'm pretty certain it was. It was saying that he got married like the fastest in Skyrim.
Like a record-setting time?
Yeah, or something like that. I can't find it right now. But I'm assuming that Skyrim is still great.
Well, that's the thing.
Everybody has such reverence for Skyrim, but I thought it was a really great game. I just never pictured it as like this masterpiece. I love it so much. I thought it was like a great open world game, especially at this time where Skyrim is the largest game out there. You don't see this many games coming out, where now you see like Witcher 3 and it kind of, or like GTA 5, the world size and what happens in the world kind of puts it to shame slightly.
The one thing I have to say about Skyrim, the one gripe I always had, this is kind of getting a little, well, not really off topic, but one of the gripes that I have is I think that the faction quest in the game kind of suck.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Dark Brotherhood is pretty much very uninteresting. I mean, compared to Oblivion, like playing Oblivion on my PS3.
Now, Oblivion, that is a game that we hold in reverence. I
Now,
love
see, that's
that
the thing.
game so much.
For me, that game was a masterpiece. I thought that it was a lot of fun to explore the world. The DLCs were amazing. Both of them were awesome.
Except for that, like, elven armor for your horse and bullshit like that.
Oh, well,
because they were
the
still
hell
trying
with
to
that.
figure out the DLC thing at the time.
Yeah. What was it? The Shivering Isles was always amazing.
Oh, that was
and
great.
Knights of the Nine.
I love building the gatekeeper or whatever.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty sick.
But that's the thing. If there was that's one thing that was probably my biggest gripe, is that the Dark Brotherhood quest sucked. Thieves Guild quest was pretty much. I mean, it gets boring because you have like your main quest. Like I did the Companions quest, I guess a couple days ago, and I finished it in an hour. It's like
Yeah.
I meet the Companions and they're like, oh, I'm not trusting this outsider. I complete 2 quests and suddenly they're like, would you like to become a werewolf? Do you want to join our secret group? Like what? It doesn't make any
Spoilers!
sense. Like, some
You
of
never
the
played Skyrim.
some of the stories just I don't know.
Yeah,
Some of
because
the
I
quests
remember
just
in
don't make any
Oblivion,
sense.
like the storytelling, like I remember the first time you would kill someone in the game and you all of a sudden just got a note randomly out of nowhere.
Well, you saw at the top of the screen it was like a white text and it said your killing has been observed by forces unknown.
Yeah,
and you're just
you're
like,
oh
shit.
God. And all of a sudden somebody, like, you fall asleep for the first time and all of a sudden somebody pops up out of nowhere talking about joining this random
Lucien Lachance.
brotherhood. And then now there's like infighting within the brotherhood, like trying to taking it out from the inside.
I gotta
Oh
play
my
that game
God.
again. I'm definitely gonna have to play that game.
Mages, like I remember the mages quest. It was kind of a pain though to go all around to the guilds, but at the end it was pretty sick.
Well, funny enough, this actually gets to my point about the PS3 version of Oblivion actually being pretty shitty as well. Thieves Guild was one of the most intense, heart-pounding quests I've ever had to play in my life. Because in the final quest I shit you not, if you failed, so obviously as part of the Thieves Guild quest, you had to, I think you had to steal an Elder Scroll, which was the final quest.
Yeah.
And if you get caught, obviously you get arrested, which can't happen. So, problem with the PS3 version is that if you got caught at a certain point, it would essentially, I think, crash the game. Like you wouldn't be able to complete the quest somehow. I can't remember the specifics, but I remember
You wouldn't even be able to load like a previous save.
Yeah, I think it really fucked it up.
God.
So I remember.
Oh my God!
I had to, like I said, I don't remember the specifics.
Your first experience with YOLO mode.
Yeah, dude, and I nailed it. It was so intense. I remember everything about it was just. I had to like mentally prepare myself beforehand to actually undertake that sort of
Wasn't there like a portion where you had to like sit on a block and then shoot something from afar?
Shoot an arrow into a fucking keyhole thing? Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
It was insane, but that's the thing. Like if I missed that shot somehow, like obviously you can pull out like a few bow or a few arrows and take some test shots. But if I missed, I would have to grab that arrow and probably get caught. It was terrible. So yeah, man.
Oh man. So you can kind of tell that we love Oblivion. Skyrim is pretty good too.
Yeah, I know. Right? Yes, Skyrim's no. See, okay. So before I actually head off, because you're going to be talking about Titanfall, but final verdict on my Skyrim experience. If you're a PS3 owner or were a PS3 owner, and you like Skyrim, you would like to play through it again, I would recommend it, especially because, in my opinion, I thought that the performance improved on the PS4 compared to the PS3. And if you haven't really experienced the DLCs, I also think it's worth it. You get everything in a $60 bundle. So I mean, I like the game.
Would recommend it.
Yeah, I like the game personally from a PS3 owner standpoint. I like the game. I think it was a step up in performance, and I'm looking forward to playing through it again. So that's my take.
Yeah, because for every like negative one, there's always a positive one out there. I just was trying to tell the other side of it and get Gary's opinion, since he has firsthand experience with playing the game, and his expert / genius / amazing opinion. You got that. You can't get it anywhere else, folks, except for Two Jersey Kids. Which, by the way, you can follow us at twojerseykids.com. I forgot to put that in the beginning. Oh shit, man! I gotta get this. I still gotta get the spiel going. Yeah, that's it for Skyrim. Are you trying to get going, Gary? Because he has a hockey game. Remember, people, tweet at RealScavenger18 and ask him if he scored 7 goals. If he didn't, curse him. Curse him.
All right.
It's like,
Well,
fuck him.
hopefully I can try to get some of those goals tonight. I don't know about 7, but anyway, it's been great being here as always. I'm sorry I can't be here till the end, but life calls.
Classic. Slacker.
I
You know who the real worker is in this relationship.
Okay. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get negative here. All right. Anyway, enjoy Titanfall 2 discussion. I will catch you all later. It's been a pleasure. Adios, amigos.
All right. Bye, Gary.
Peace.
Say bye. 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 Oh, he's gone. You just heard the Skype thing go away. So, guys, it's just me. This is pretty exciting. I don't know what to say. I'm freezing up. I'm choking. I don't know what to do. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Titanfall 2. I love it. I'm really enjoying Titanfall 2. It's it feels so fantastic, so fluid. I'm enjoying the campaign right now where it's just it's kind of like a buddy cop film where you have the unknown person that you don't expect to becomes a pilot. No way, never thought that would happen. And then he helps out the Titan, and then they become kind of buddies. And you got the whole thing with, him saying something the pilot saying something sarcastic, with then the Titan actually take him seriously, and then says kind of like a very bland joke, I guess you could say. For example, actually, I don't want to say it. No, an example would be, so the pilot saying, like, oh, I missed you. And he said, this is horrible. This is going off the rails, folks. Why am I saying a joke right now? But yeah, I think the voice acting really done well. Matt Mercer, I think, as the pilot. Jake Cooper done really well. I've been playing the multiplayer. Fantastic. I'm still not used to the whole Titans everywhere, because at certain points in the multiplayer game, Titans just come out of the wazoo. They never end. I know I can play the all pilots mode, but I still want to give it a shot. I've been enjoying the affliction mode, I think it's called, where it's just, I think 6-on-6 pilots. Sorry, I got indigestion from working out, so it's starting to catch up with me. So if you hear burping, I'm sorry, but it's 6-on-6. Whew. There's grunts involved, so it's just NPC controlled people that you can take out relatively easily. At racks up points if you kill an actual player pilot, you get more points. I've been really enjoying that a lot more because the Titans come less frequently when, instead of playing like skirmish mode where it seems like they just drop out of the sky every second. There's multiple modes. There's different loadouts you can do. It's kind of got a Call of Duty vibe. It's not, I don't know if it's as extensive as Call of Duty, but there's different classes, I guess you could say. The classes are built off of what your main function is. Right now I'm playing as the person that can throw out a solar dart that then launches, radiates out where the people's positions are. There's like cloaking ones. There's a person that's like quicker that can grapple up to higher places real quick. So I guess that would be like used as a scout for sniper purposes. I haven't got much more. I've been playing. I'm at like level 7. Been really enjoying the game. It's great. It's fantastic. I've been really enjoying it. Critically, it's been doing well. Unfortunately, it has not been doing so well in sales-wise. Games Industry Biz writes, Christopher Dring over at Games Industry Biz, I should say. Man, I'm not speaking that loud because I'm not trying to talk to Gary anymore. So he writes, Battlefield 1 and the remastered version of Skyrim impressed at UK retail last week at the expense of Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2's launch sales, physical data only, just FYI, are well below the ones achieved by its predecessor, which arrived in March 2013 on Xbox platforms and PC only. In fact, the game's launch sales are barely a quarter of the ones achieved by its original. Despite the fact that this sequel has the added benefit of launching on PS4, Titanfall 2 debuts at number 4 in the GFK Top 50, which the original reached number 1. So you're wondering, how did they not sell as many copies when it's on multiple different platforms? One being that Battlefield 1 was released 1 week early. It also had the same release date as Skyrim Remastered, which right there, you already have people going off playing another shooter, Battlefield 1. And then you have the other party, other fans who may have played Titanfall 2 are now playing Skyrim Remastered for nostalgia purposes. And now next week, this upcoming week, we have Call of Duty. So let me ask you, are you going to choose if you're just a normal casual, I guess, fan, casual shooter fan, are you going to play this game on PS4 that you never heard of? I guess on Xbox One it would be the same thing. You didn't play Titanfall. You may have played Titanfall 1, so it's to decide, do I play Titanfall 2 or do I play Call of Duty? Call of Duty I've been playing consistently for years and I've always been a fan of it. Or do I play Titanfall 1, which I enjoyed slightly. It didn't feel that deep in Titanfall 1. Do I play Titanfall 2 now? Who do I trust? I feel like 9 times out of 10 they're going to say Call of Duty, so they'll just wait a week because they don't have the cash to spend out. And now, additionally, I feel like being exclusive to a console actually helped it. Because you have this I can't say it. You have this being exclusive to a console, I feel like allows the player base to rally around that one game because they're saying, I stick with this console, I stick with the gamers on this console, I am for you. So all the people on Xbox One can rally around that game. But funny enough, apparently Respawn stated in an article at PlayStation Lifestyle, written by Alex Coe, that the release date was, quote, locked a long time ago and there was no changing it. So here's the full quote. I actually don't know where the decision came from. I just know it was locked in a long time ago and there was no changing it. I'm not really worried about it. We try not to worry, really. When you care about what other games are doing when they're releasing, you worry. At the end of the day, we're releasing a game that we're happy with and we enjoy playing, that we're proud of. As long as we're doing that, I think we're going to find an audience. It doesn't really matter when it comes out. A good game gets noticed. Well, I kind of disagree. A good game doesn't always get noticed. It really depends on the window that's coming out. You could say the example Dying Light. If Dying Light came out during this rush in fall, no one will notice. No one would have noticed it. However, it came later in the year, and it sold really well because there was nothing else out there like it at the time. Let me continue. Whew, man, being alone. I'm getting hungry. I'm by myself. It's scary. I don't know what to do. But EA responded to the criticism. GameSpot writes, Matt Pagant over at GameSpot writes, Titanfall 2 released this past Friday, October 28th, and received much praise from its critics. Despite the glowing reviews, analysts believe the shooter's sales will be substantially disappointing because of its release week after Battlefield 1 and a week before Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. In today's earnings call, EA CEO Andrew Wilson was asked if he'd do things differently in the future and refrain from releasing future shooters so closely to each other. Wilson said that while Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2, quote, have some overlap, they, quote, fulfill very different motivations in what a player is looking for, end quote. Quote, we think there's really 3 types of players, Wilson said. People that love Battlefield and that kind of big strategy gameplay that will orient in that direction. The players that loves the fast, fluid, kinetic gameplay of Titanfall 2 that really orient in that direction. And the players that just has to play the 2 greatest shooters of this generation will buy both. And again, we're very, very excited about the quality in both titles. End quote. So I'm seeing right there, it's kind of funny. It seems like they're stating that Titanfall 2 has the better gameplay than Battlefield 1, but that makes no sense. Shooter fans are not going to choose one shooter they will choose one shooter of the other, especially if Battlefield 1, the larger, more well-known game that people have been excited about because it's going back to World War I, it's providing something different, and they don't have the income to spend back-to-back weeks on new games. That makes no sense, EA. I feel like the only purpose was you trying to take out try to provide competition in Call of Duty's space, try to take away all the players so they would buy Titanfall 2 or Battlefield 1 before COD came out, so people now will not go out and get COD. I don't know if that was the best strategy because you're kind of suffocating Titanfall 2. But before, there may be some pauses here. I had a long conversation with one of our fans, Nikita Longanoff, on Twitter, at Burros, Burros, one killer. Sorry, not killer. Man, we had a long conversation. I love interacting with this guy. He's awesome. So here he states, as promised, I give you guys my opinion about Titanfall 2. It's freaking awesome. The only bad thing is marketing. So again, like I was saying, the issue was launching this game at the same time with COD and Battlefield 1 with no advertising campaign isn't a great decision by EA. That's another great point. It seemed like they didn't put effort into showing off Titanfall 2 in specific parts. I never saw any advertising on TV, nothing online, nothing. If you wanted this to take away from COD, you should have pushed advertising. Or, like, my better thought was just push it out away from COD and Battlefield 1. Let them duke it out. Take Titanfall and put it to where it was first released, I guess, in, like, March or February or January, where people are already done. Or push it forward in September, where people are clamoring for a good first-person shooter. Not in the middle of the two biggest shooters. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Nikita writes, they advertised Battlefield 1 like it was the first game in a new franchise, which is new to everyone, and Titanfall 2 gets a trailer. So yeah, they kind of pushed it like this is a new game, new thing, but everyone knows Battlefield. Everyone knows that name. However, Titanfall 2 is still not well known, especially the PS4 audience who wanted Titanfall 1. They didn't push it like this is a game you needed to have. They pushed Battlefield 1 as like the new innovative, where Titanfall 2 was just, another game that's coming out there. He writes, I bet 90% of players decide to either buy Battlefield 1 or not after opening beta weekends. It's not like they changed something after that. So he gave suggestions on what to do with Titanfall 2. He's that I hope they'll make some free weekends for Titanfall 2, so anyone who doesn't like COD, the new COD could try and then definitely buy Titanfall 2. It's a pretty good idea. Release it right when COD comes out. Say, hey, if you don't like COD Infinite Warfare, here you go. Here you go. But I feel like people nowadays are buying COD Infinite Warfare specifically for Modern Warfare 1, COD 4 Remastered that's included, which is pretty genius because I heard it's doing pretty well online. But he is stating that it's good that they're doing free DLC. He also, this is a large conversation. We got into critics and everything, but he's hoping that by some chance it'll be kind of like Counter-Strike, where not many people noticed it right off the bat. It had really fluid gameplay, and now Counter-Strike is huge, especially in the the esports industry. So I guarantee you EA is hoping that it gets like that. However, I don't know if it will. I really hope so because I love Titanfall 2. But it's just so weird. It's sold like 5 to 6 million copies. However, when you go online, there's only like 18,000, 20,000 people playing. That seems really weird that not many people are playing it online. And it's kind of sad because this is a game that people should play. This game is fantastic. It feels amazing to play. It feels fluid. I want to go, after I'm recording this, to go back and play it. However, I need to eat, so I'm probably going to eat something before then. But that is all I have for Titanfall 2 and my frustrations with its marketing campaign. So, we're over an hour in. Thank you all so much for sticking with me for that last 10 or so minutes. I'm really tired now from talking that much. I'm actually really hungry. But let me go through the final bit before you guys head out. So, just so you know, Two Jersey Kids releases an episode every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday being the one where me and Gary go over the games that are coming out this very week. And Friday is the episode where we go over the topics or the news coming out in the video game industry, like the ones like the episode that just came to your ears right now. Man, I'm screwing up right now with this end. I don't have Gary to help me out, fill in for me. I just got to keep going, keep trucking. Remember, if you're a new listener, thank you so much for listening. You are awesome. Please hit that subscribe button if you're on iTunes. Please rate us on iTunes. It helps us out so much. And please follow us at Two Jersey Kids on Twitter. If you're a listener now, thank you so much for keep listening to us. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Please interact us on Twitter at 2JerseyKids. We love talking to you. We love getting your opinions. We love saying it on the show. You guys, all of you guys are awesome. We appreciate all the listeners. We appreciate all of you. So please keep helping us get to wherever we're going to get with this podcast. I don't know how far it'll or how high it'll ever get, but me and Gary definitely want to take it places. It's only episode 11. We got a long way to go, but all of you out there that are on the ground floor, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate you all. And maybe eventually we'll have you on the show. Maybe when we talk about Game of the Year stuff, it'll be maybe a little special show. I don't know. We have to sort it out. But again, thank you all for being here. We love you all. Have a great day and a great weekend. Keep playing those games. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Gary and Adam have left the building.